So,
Okay.
hi, Tom.
Hello, whoever that was.
That was me.
Okay. All right. Let me get to the Zoom now. Well, right there is the combination of astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system, and all of the planets. So we'll stop that piece. Do you have any, let's see, this is what we're going to do. This is your whole gene keys profile, which lists out your life path. But see how it has a line number after each one of the I Ching?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to do. Because to try to give you all of this information all at once, it's like trying to eat an elephant in 30 minutes. It's just not going to happen. So, um, oops. I don't know why keeps going little.
Oh,
So
yeah, but you have a really good camera.
I just bought a brand new laptop, so but this is what, well, it's got this blurring feature so that I stand out. But um, you're a first. Do you understand how the lines and the I Ching are made up?
Not really.
Okay, if you take 3 coins and you drop them, you're going to get heads, tails, heads, 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 tails, tails, tails. There's 6 possibilities,
Okay.
and that creates a trigram. If you do that again and get a second trigram, between the two of them, there are 64 possibilities. That's what makes up the I Ching, the 64 possibilities of life. Also, ironically, we're made up of 64 points in our DNA.
Hmm.
Musical composition is 64. So it's universal. They figured out 6,000 years ago that, there were only so many possibilities, and they put words to them, and that was to govern society back, way before. So that's the basis of what a lot of this information is.
Hmm.
So I'm going to read the 1 through 6 of each of the I Ching, and I'll tell you what the gift is. So you're what's called a 1-3 profile. So first line, which is called the creator. I'm a 5-1, so I'm fairly familiar with the first line energy. It's the energy of the investigator, the person who has to know why. And I see you smile as you have a little
Yeah,
resonance with that. You have to have a solid foundation in knowing. If not knowing, at least learning till you know. There was a
yes.
there was a great word in a book called Stranger in a Strange Land called to grok something. GROCK. That means you understood it with your mind, your body, your soul. You completely got it. And most
Hmm.
beings didn't grok something until the point where they were dead. That's about Martians, but um, what you do best with is all of the information and it being direct. No hidden agendas, no beating around the bush, no bullshit. Just give it to me straight.
That's true.
The wound of the first line is insecurity. And insecurity is healed with honesty. Not only honesty to others, but self-honesty. And the shadow is repression. Now I have to use the spectacles for the... In your life's work, the gift you have is intuition.
Really? Oh, that's wow. Okay.
And in your evolution, the evolution is usually your biggest challenge and your biggest hurdle, how you need to evolve from. And the gift you have there is initiative.
Mm.
Okay, then as we cross over, the first four are what's called the golden path.
Mhm.
And as we cross over to the first third line, which is your radiance, once you sort of overcome your evolution, that radiates from you.
So that I have to overcome initiative.
No, that's the gift.
Oh, really?
I'm skipping the shadows for now.
Oh, okay.
Um, the the next two spheres have the number 3. So the third line is the changer. And it's also one of the more difficult lines because it's all about trial and error. And it's usually about learning from mistakes. Okay. It's where you fuck up. It's like, ooh, touch the stove, it's hot, it burnt me. Ooh, touch the stove, it's hot, it burnt me. Ooh, touch the stove, it's hot, it burnt me.
Sounds all right.
Eventually, you'll get to the point of going, maybe I shouldn't touch the stove. But it's about learning from failures and what does not work.
Okay.
But what the positive side of that is the third line is very dynamic, it's very joyous. It tends to be a jack of all trades. It can pretty much do whatever it wants, but it's going to learn from what didn't work. And it responds best to absolutely no pressure. What do you want for lunch? Don't pressure me. I'll decide when I'm ready.
That doesn't really work well being a Libra and the one answers.
Yes. Well, of course, that's the first line. That's the dichotomy of the 1 and the 3.
Mhm.
The wound of the third line is shame, and shame is healed with humor. Don't take stuff so seriously. Add some humor. The shadow side of the third line can be uncommitted, pessimistic, and unreliable. So those are things to be aware of. Now, the last sphere is what's called the purpose. And the purpose has two meanings. It's by purpose, it doesn't mean what you do in life, it means what you are. And it's also what is your purpose in relationships. So the third line, as far as purpose, is about movement. Like the blood flows through the body, you always have movement. With your purpose in relationships, you are either the adventurer or the escape artist. Like, ooh, let's have fun, or I'm out of here.
That sounds about right.
Now we go into the second series, which is the Venus sequence, which is all about how you love and what made you you. Your attraction sphere, oh, by the way, the gift you have in purpose is aspiration. And in your radiance, the gift is expansion. The attraction sphere which is what energy about you draws people, things, and experience to you. It's also a first line,
Okay.
which is about foundational. And the two words that it gives for positive and negative is fertility and sterility.
And what? What was the other word?
Sterility, sterile,
Sterility.
fertile or sterile.
I'm pretty sterile. There are no toxic.
Well, your gift there is resolve. So
Okay.
apparently you have to go through some stuff to build up the gift of resolve.
Okay.
Um, then it starts to go into the developmental part, and it goes backwards. It goes from age 19 to about 13, which is the development of your IQ,
Mm,
how you mentally process things. And here again, we have a third line.
mm,
The third line is about having a flexible mind, but it can also be evasive.
mm,
And your gift there is insight.
mm.
And then and that is built up on your previous development, which is from age 7 to like 13, which is your EQ or your emotional intelligence. And here is the only place you have a line 6.
Yeah.
A line 6 is it has 3 different stages of life. So I would imagine emotionally you're going to have 3 different levels of maturity.
Okay.
The
I can
first
see that.
the first one is up to about age 30, where the 6 is actually a 3.
Okay.
Then from 30 to 50, it's like touch the hot stove. Well, now I know better to not touch the hot stove. So you've learned from your mistakes. And then once you get to my age, 50 plus, then you're considered to be the master or the teacher.
Okay.
So, and this is regard to your emotions, which your gift is teamwork.
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 Oh, okay. That's interesting. I need you guys to get everything out of here. Everything because they're taking away. Okay.
Well, at least you're able to multitask very well.
Uh, well, they were behaving, so that made it easy.
Oh, okay. The first developmental stage is from like 0 to age 7, and it's your SQ or your spiritual intelligence.
No, we're doing that. Okay, my spirit and tongue. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let me know if you need me to pause and
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna power through right now. Go ahead.
power through. Okay. The fourth line in your SQ is about belonging, about kinship and community. And your gift there is commitment,
Okay.
where we looked at the other part of the third line. One of the possible shadows is uncommitted and unreliable. So that's coming from that very early developmental stage. Um, and then the last sphere is called the core, which is sort of what you brought into this lifetime from your ancestry through your DNA.
Okay.
And the wound there is rejection.
Mm.
And rejection is healed with gentleness. Easy. And this sphere, like the purpose sphere, begins the last sequence, which is called the pearl sequence, which is about um, sort of what is your gift to the world. And it's about For some reason, abundance is the only word that's coming to me, and that's not quite the right word. But it's a fourth line, which is about sales and connectedness.
Hmm.
And your gift is imagination. That goes, I have yet to study the pearl. Richard Rudd is, for the first time, teaching this worldwide that starts next month. It's about prosperity. That's the word I couldn't think of. And prosperity is not the same as wealth. Wealth is the accumulation of stuff and stress. Prosperity is the natural flow of what you need and what you bring to the world. So in the culture sphere, you have a third line, which is about the unit, and your gift is expansion. And then in the pearl itself, you have a fourth line again, which is about charity. And the gift there is leadership.
Hmm.
Fourth lines are always going to be about networking and opportunity.
Okay.
And you have 1, 2, 3.
Well, come on, yeah, because I go to dinner at 1:30. I'm sorry. Let me
You
get in
have
here.
3 fourth lines,
Oh, who is that? I'm doing a meeting. What's that talking about?
4 third lines,
Okay. Okay.
3 first lines, 1 sixth line, and no fifth lines at all.
What's a fifth line?
I'm a fifth line, the heretic.
Okay.
And you have no second lines. So
Second line.
second line is usually the mirror.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that's about it here. You're a 1-3 generator. 80% of the world are generators. They're the workers, the worker bees. And you have a sacral authority. Do you understand what that means?
Got it all.
Okay. When you make decisions, do you do it by thinking?
Yeah, I do a lot of thinking.
Your gut is what tells you what's right or wrong for you. You'll
Okay.
you'll feel a sacral energy, like you'll feel almost a uh-huh if you have a rising of energy from your gut. If you get no response or it's sort of like a sinking feeling, that's a no.
Okay, I got a question now. This is gonna be, is there anything on my chart that says that this would be like increasing over the last couple years? Because like I didn't know what it was at first. Like I would just have those feelings like really sick, like feelings in my gut. Even though I couldn't figure out, even though like I couldn't see something was wrong, I felt it.
Right.
And started picking up over the last few years. Is there anything that's
The sixth line in your emotion, you move from one stage to the next. That's what I was talking about.
over the last couple
How
years?
how old are you, if I may ask?
I will be 43 in a couple weeks.
Okay, so about the last 8 years.
Okay. Ooh.
And it's going to get stronger and stronger as you get more mature and start to listen to your body.
Okay.
And it's really hard for first lines because I'm a 5-1. I always want to think my
Yeah.
way through, make lists. What's right? What's wrong?
Mhm.
Listen to your gut.
Okay.
Your gut is never going to steer you wrong. That's your answer.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty much it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed that.
The first part of this sequence, I'll send you a link with my referral. You can take the first part of the course, self-study on your own. It's free.
Okay.
If you're interested in the prosperity thing, it's going to be the first time it's ever taught worldwide by Richard Rudd, the person who wrote all this stuff. So
Okay.
that's pretty amazing. And I'll give you a link to this recording on the YouTube. If you would, after a few days or week, you would pick on
Wait, hold on. I'm breaking the room. You said if I would after a few days, what now?
like a couple felt
I don't know why I started.
to you. My internet is unstable. So let me end that.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so you said after a few days, do what now?
If you would, I'll send you a link to the recording. Just put in the comments, something that you got out of this, maybe
Oh, for
one or
sure.
2 points that really hit home for you.
Most definitely.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you so much.
All right. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.
That was neat. You were 30 something. Okay, well, we can tell people I'm 30 something. It's fine. We don't have to tell everyone.